Good afternoon, everyone. Today we are going to discuss the topic Human Genome Project. Yesterday we have started this topic. We have discussed what is Human Genome Project. Okay, so let me give you a brief. Human Genome Project is a project which was started in the year 1990, and this project was basically meant to sequence all the nucleotide base pairs that are present in the human genome. Okay, we have discussed till here. Then we have discussed what is human genome. Haploid set of chromosomes that are present in the human. It makes the human genome. Okay, now besides the Human Genome Project, non-human organisms, they were also taken and they were also sequenced. Their nucleotide base pair sequence was also studied. Okay, no doubt Human Genome Project is there. For the human, nucleotide base pair sequence was studied, and this took, actually it was meant that it will take 13 years. It started in 1990 and it was supposed that within 13 years it will get complete, that is by 2003. But there was one chromosome, that is the first chromosome, its nucleotide base pair sequence was still left, and by the year 2006 all the chromosomes, the sequence of all the chromosomes, it was estimated. Okay, now there are some non-human organisms also whose genome has been studied, whose genome has been sequenced. Okay, its example is rice plant, bacteria, yeast, Caenorhabditis elegans, a nematode which is non-pathogenic. Okay, so basically their sequences, they also have been studied. Their nucleotide base pair sequences have been done so that we can have the assumption of their role in the energy production, bioremediation processes. Okay, so now let us talk about the Human Genome Project. As you know that in the human genome, 23 pair of chromosomes are present. If I'll talk about the female, then they are having 23 pair of the chromosomes, and out of these 23 pair, 22 they are autosomes and one pair is allosome, that is sex chromosome, which is going to determine the sex of the organism. And if I talk about the male, again they are having 23 pair of chromosome. Out of that 22 pair, these are autosomes and one pair is allosome, that is sex chromosome X, Y. So basically in the human genome I told you the haploid set of chromosome present in the human. Haploid set. Because if I talk about 23 pair, 23 pair are there. Suppose first pair. So scientists, they have studied the haploid set. They have studied, they have sequenced the one chromosome of the homologous pair, because obviously the second one will be having the same sequence. Clear? So in Human Genome Project, all the chromosomes, all the 23 pair of chromosomes that are present in the human, they are sequenced. Now, how it was carried out, let us discuss about them. There were two methodologies for determining the sequence of the base pairs. So there were two methodologies. One EST, second one is sequence annotation. Now what is EST? EST means expressed sequences. Basically, as you know that suppose let me make the DNA, although it is coiled but I am making it straight. Okay, we have discussed in chapter number 6 in the previous topic that the whole DNA will not code for the protein. Only a specific region of the DNA will code for the RNA. Clear? And from the RNA there will be production of protein. So the whole DNA is not going to make protein. Suppose this area will make RNA and later on obviously protein. This area, even you will be surprised to know that only 2% of the human DNA codes for the RNA. Means rest 98% it is the junk DNA. Okay, so suppose here also this region is coding for the RNA. So first methodology states that the expressed sequence they must be taken into consideration while sequencing. Means suppose if this is the expressed sequence, then it should be sequenced. Its nucleotide base pair sequence should be find out. Then here, am I clear? But this methodology, sequence annotation, in this it was considered that whole of the DNA will be sequenced, no matter it is coding for the RNA or not, it is expressing itself or not. Am I clear? In this methodology, only the portion of the DNA that is actually coding for the RNA, they are sequenced. But in this methodology, that is sequence annotation, the whole of the DNA is sequenced. Doesn't matter it is expressing itself or not. So basically in EST, the sequence of this region will be found out, then the sequence of this region will be found out. This sequence will not be found out. Why? Because it is not expressing. But if you use the methodology sequence annotation, then the sequence of the whole genome will be found out. Am I clear? This also doesn't matter. It is expressing itself or it is not expressing itself. So basically this was taken into consideration. Okay, and the sequence of the whole genome, it was interpreted. Clear? Now, how the sequence was interpreted, let us talk about that a little bit. Suppose a human cell is there that is having 23 pair of chromosome, so it has to be sequenced, right now? So how it has been done? Firstly, the chromosome has been taken out. Suppose the scientists, they want to know the sequence of the first chromosome. So firstly, they have taken out the first chromosome. Out of a homologous pair, one has been taken out. Now secondly, it is having the DNA. And obviously in the DNA, nucleotide base pairs are present, the whom we want to know the sequence. So if this is the DNA, then it is having nucleotide base pair. That sequence we are supposed to find out in the Human Genome Project. So next, what is being done? Restriction endonucleases are used. Restriction endonucleases are used. What these enzymes do, we have discussed in chapter number 11. They are having the power to cut the DNA at specific locations within the segment. So what will happen when we are using the restriction endonuclease? This DNA will break down into pieces. Now we will get the pieces of the DNA. Clear? Now next, what is done? Amplification. Amplification means to increase in the number of these DNA fragments. And how this is done? To increase the number of these DNA fragments. Okay, for this they can be placed inside a host. Suppose if I'll place this DNA fragment inside the body of a bacterium, in the bacterium, now you know that the bacterium will divide. As a result, this DNA fragment, it will also get copy. That what we want, multiple copies of this DNA fragment. So with the help of a vector, about this in detail we have discussed in chapter number 11. So with the help of the vector, these DNA fragments, they are inserted in the host. The host could be bacteria, it could be yeast. Clear? So basically, firstly with the help of the restriction endonuclease, the DNA fragments, they are obtained. After that, these DNA fragments, in order to get the multiple copies, they are inserted in the host with the help of the vector. The vector used could be BAC, that is bacterial artificial chromosome, or YAC, yeast artificial chromosome. So firstly the DNA fragments, they are inserted in the vector, and then the vector is inserted in the host. Clear? Now the host will divide, and as a result we'll get the multiple copies of the DNA. And after that, that is our main motive. This DNA is sequenced, and it was sequenced with the help of a method which was given by the Frederick Sanger. Basically, in a protein chain, this Frederick Sanger, what he did, he determined the sequence of the amino acids. If this is a polypeptide chain, then this person, he sequenced it. He find the sequence of amino acids that are present in this polypeptide chain. So with the help of the similar method which was given by him, the DNA sequences, the sequencing of the DNA was done, and the base pair sequence, it was found out. Clear? Now, after that, if I talk about the salient features of the Human Genome Project, then as you know that in our body we are having 3164.7 million nucleotide base pairs. So basically these base pairs, 3164 million base pairs, they were sequenced, and it took almost 16 years, although they have thought that within 13 years they will complete it. By 2003 they will complete it, but it was completed by 2006. Clear? Now, if I talk about the gene, you know that the fragment of the DNA that can code for the RNA. And now I told you, of the full genome, only 2% of the sequences, they behave as the genes. They code for the RNA. Okay, now a gene, on an average, a gene consists of 3000 bases. This is on an average. Otherwise, there is a protein, dystrophin protein. It contains 2.4 million bases. Just see the difference. So this is just a rough average, that on an average a gene contains 3000 bases. But there is a variation. Example is dystrophin protein. Okay, the gene for this is having 2.4 million bases. Clear? Now, if I talk about the human genome, in the human genome, total genes, they are 30,000 almost. Although before finding the sequence of the base pair, or before the Human Genome Project, it was thought that the genes, it could be 90,000 or more than a lakh, 1,40,000. But after that, when the Human Genome Project was done, when the sequence of the base pair was done, then the result was that only almost 30,000 genes are there in the human genome. So human genome contains almost 30,000 genes and 3,164 million base pair. Clear? Now, if I'll talk about these genes, that what I told you, only 2% of the genome codes for the proteins. The rest 98% will not code. Only 2% codes for the protein. Clear? Now, and out of these 30,000 genes, only 50% of the genes, the functioning of the 50% of the genes has been discovered. The functioning of the rest 50% genes, they haven't discovered yet. Clear? Out of the 30,000 gene, only 50% genes, functioning of 50% genes is known. Until now, the functioning of the rest 50% of the genes is still not known. Clear? Now, if I talk about the DNA of the different person, suppose here it is my DNA. Suppose here is the DNA of my friend. Then you will be surprised to know that the DNA of the different organisms, not organisms actually, different members of the same species, they resemble 99.9%. Means the your DNA, my DNA, your friend's DNA, 99.9% similarity is there. Am I clear? The difference is only 0.1%. Otherwise, your DNA, my DNA, your friend's DNA, everyone's DNA, the DNA of all the human beings, it is same. 99.9% DNA is same. Okay, now suppose, let me tell you about polymorphism. Single nucleotide polymorphism. What is this? Now, polymorphism means difference. Suppose here is my DNA and here is my friend's DNA. I told you 99.9% of the DNA will be same. There is only difference of 0.1%, and with the help of that only you can see the huge variation in the human species. You look different, your friend look different, I look different, only of that polymorphism. Okay, now what is single nucleotide polymorphism? Suppose here is my DNA, here A is there, T is there, these are the nucleotide bases, right? Here C is there, G is there, then T is there, then suppose C is there. In my friend's DNA at the same position, and the position is known as locus. At the same position here also A is there, T is there, C is there, G is there. Suppose here G is there and here C. So if you'll see this, A, T, C, G, A, T, C, G. Here T is there and here G is there. So there is a difference only in one nucleotide. Oh sorry, I can say there is a difference only in the one nucleotide base. This is single nucleotide polymorphism, and due to this only the individual will vary a lot. Am I clear? Otherwise 99.9% similarity is there. Now, if I'll talk about the genes that are present on the chromosome, then I told you that chromosome 1 is the largest chromosome and it contains almost 2,968 genes. Chromosome 1 is the largest chromosome, you know, right? And chromosome Y is the smallest one and it is having only and only 231 genes. These are the silent features of the Human Genome Project. Now, if I'll talk about the repeated sequence, as the name suggests, what is repeated sequence? The sequence that repeats itself. It's not like that it will repeat only once or twice or thrice. It can repeat hundreds of times, thousands of times. Suppose here is the DNA. Okay, here the sequence is present A, T, G, C. Then after a few nucleotides, this sequence will repeat itself, ATGC, sorry, ATCG. Similarly, ATCG. Like this, in the DNA, it is present that the nucleotide sequences, it repeats itself. This is repeated sequence, and it also plays a very important role in the DNA. Clear? So this was the Human Genome Project, a project which was done to find the sequence of nucleotide base pairs that are present in the human DNA. And for this, the whole genome, that is the haploid set of chromosome, was sequenced. Okay, how it was sequenced, I told you. Firstly, by using the restriction endonuclease, cutting the DNA. After that, getting multiple copies of the DNA with the help of the vector and the host. And after that, sequences was done with the help of the Sanger's technique. And after that, the nucleotide data was obtained. But that data is too huge. If I'll think that I can print that nucleotide sequence in a book. Now, if one book contains 100 pages, one book, it contains 100 pages, and on each and every page 1000 letters are written, then 3300 such books are required if we want to write the nucleotide base sequence, and that is not practically manually possible. Okay, so basically the data obtained, it was inserted in the computer softwares. Clear? So for that computer softwares, they were designed in which the nucleotide data, the sequence of the base pair that we got, it can be inserted, it can be analyzed. This is bioinformatics. Bioinformatics, a branch in which the sequences that we got from the Human Genome Project, it was fit in the computer softwares and they were analyzed. The data was stored in the softwares. Clear? Because on a book it was not practically feasible. So the data was analyzed in the softwares. This is bioinformatics. So if I'll talk about the basic goals of the Human Genome Project. First goal that we are discussing, to find out the sequence of the nucleotide base pair. Second goal, to find out the number of the genes that we have discussed. The number of the genes, it came out to be 25,000, 30,000, but earlier it was thought that the number of genes, it could be 80,000 or 1,40,000. So if I talk about the goals of the Genome Project, first goal is to find out the sequence of the base pair. Second, to find out the sequence of, to find out the number of the genes. Third, to store the data, to analyze the data. Clear? Next is LC. Ethical, legal and social. Obviously, we are determining the sequence of human genome. We are working on the humans. So there must be some ethical issues, some legal issues, some social issues. So there is LC, ethical, legal and social issues. They are being considered and dealt in the LC. Am I clear with the Human Genome Project? Thank you.